Once upon a time, surely no more than 30 years ago, a little baby Rosalynn was born and adopted by Betty Ruth and W.M. Lynch. We're pretty sure it was in Mississippi, but it might have been Texas or possibly Oklahoma. Okay, we're really not sure exactly where she was born, but Just kidding. We know she was born right here in Louisiana, from Shreveport. But what we do know is that she definitely graduated from Lloyd V. Berkner High School in Texas. Rosalynn received her bachelor's in arts education and her master's in educational leadership from Southern Nazarene University in Oklahoma. She went on to have 3 children, Rachel, Chris, and Elizabeth, who have grown and began to have children of their own. Now that Rosalynn has reached the ripe old age of 31, it's time for her to enjoy her beautiful family and growing grandchildren. Though we are all so happy for her to move to this next chapter in her life, we can't deny how sad we are to see her go. Rosalynn has impacted the arts and education world in so many different ways, and her passion for the arts and drive for change in education is inspiring. We asked a few people we know how Rosalynn has impacted them in their own personal and professional journeys. Here's what they had to say.
I first met Rosalynn when we served together in Oklahoma City Public Schools Arts Advisory Committee back in the 90s. She was pretty quiet, didn't talk too much, but when she did, it was on point, based on personal experience and always very helpful. So I've been a longtime fan. And then when I was invited to be an advisor to the planning of bringing A+ to Oklahoma, Rosalynn's name came forward to replace the first program person that was hired for Oklahoma, and I was an enthusiastic yes. And that enthusiasm has grown into deep appreciation, love, and admiration. Always doing what's right for kids. You can count on Rosalynn, one of a kind.
In 2002, Rosalynn came to visit Oologah Lower Elementary, where I was the principal, for a site visit as part of our application process for Oklahoma A+ schools. As we finished the tour, we both said how familiar we seemed to one another. I told her I lived in Bartlesville. She said she had lived there, and that led us to discover that she had been my art methods professor in college. So I've known Rosalynn for over 30 years. It was wonderful, though, to reconnect with her in the A+ world as a principal, to get to work with her as the principal mentor for the network for many years, and eventually to get to be her colleague on a daily basis as I became the executive director. Rosalynn has been the mainstay for Oklahoma A+ and foundational in A+ nationally and internationally. Her passion for this work is unmatched. She has been a mentor and a friend for a long time, and she will continue to influence both my work and the work of A+.
At an early retreat I had been with Arkansas A+ less than a year, I invited Sandy and Rosalynn to offer a keynote to kick off the event. They did a fabulous job, of course, and I was so grateful for all their help. I knew that Sandy had to leave the morning after their presentation, so I assumed Rosalynn would as well. But as I started the morning session, I looked up, and there she was, sitting in the back. I was so nervous, but I put on my best smile and continued. As the day progressed, I kept trying to read her face. Was I doing okay? Did she feel like this was A+ enough? But her face revealed nothing. Finally, during a break, she came up and told me that she knew why I and Shelby had been hired and that she thought we were doing a great job. We talked some more, and I remember laughing and almost crying. I tell this story because hearing that from Rosalynn, who I admire and who is A+ in her very essence, meant more than I can say. I am beyond grateful for all that Rosalynn has offered to me and our team. Thank you so much, Rosalynn.
Rosalynn. I just want to thank you for being an anchor for me in all of my A+ experiences, going from Oklahoma to Arkansas, and now having the opportunity to work with Oklahoma again. And one of my biggest compliments I would receive was that I would be modeling how you would handle a situation. Rachel, you sound just like Rosalynn, would just make me smile from ear to ear. I promise to keep your ripple going. It's very important that we, now more than ever, keep the story of A+ in the minds and hearts of so many people. And remember, we're always a call or text away. Love you to infinity, Rachel.
My dear Rosalynn, how can it possibly have been long enough for you to be ready to retire? I remember meeting you in Oklahoma at those first A+ Fellows trainings. There were so many great experiences as we built the A+ plane together, learned alongside of each other, reflected and made art, gave many toasts over many cocktails, changed song lyrics, performed operas, danced, played, and laughed together, and figured out how to adapt what started in North Carolina to what Oklahoma needed. Your calm grace, your great humor, and your deep thinking helped to strengthen my own A+ness over the years and helped prepare me to be the A+ leader that I am. Thank you, and cheers to you, my friend.
Although I was introduced to NASC during our first virtual meeting in the fall of 2017, it wasn't until our in-person meeting in February of the following year that I was able to meet everyone in person. At that meeting, the concept of A+ vision and mission were high on the agenda. And whenever we got lost in the sauce, Rosalynn was able to make a well-considered comment that brought us back into focus. Since then, I have learned that she is the embodiment of President Roosevelt's famous quote, "Speak softly and carry a big stick. You will go far." In her case, Rosalynn's big stick is her diverse educational experience and deep love of the arts. Rosalynn lives an example of how to lead with economy of energy and generosity of spirit, leaving every person and programs she touches better than she found them.
It's hard to believe that it's been over a decade since Rosalynn came into my life. And I think about all of the ways that she changed who I am and all of the students she has impacted because of her commitment to Louisiana A+ schools. I remember ugly crying at the little airport in Lafayette, wanting to beg her not to leave, but knowing she had to go and work with her own network in Oklahoma. But I wanted her to stay because she was the keeper of all of the knowledge that I needed. I just can't say enough about the important role Rosalynn has played in my life, and I am so thankful for everything that you have done.
I first had the honor of meeting Rosalynn during my very first A+ Summer Institute with Louisiana A+ schools. I remember being a part of a team that was training a school that was really struggling to digest what we were giving them. By day 3, our team was frustrated and flustered and felt defeated. Rosalynn gathered us together and reminded us why we do what we do. She listened to all of our concerns and guided us down our first of many untraditional pathways to impact those harder to reach schools. She delved into her massive bank of experience and gave us the confidence and resources we needed to return the next day with fresh minds, determined to do our best work. And we did.
Congratulations, Rosalynn, and enjoy a well-deserved retirement.